3, 2, 1. And welcome to the first and foremost edition to the Mindbuzz podcast. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. I appreciate it. Amber, whoa. It was just going to cut us off, huh? Or cut me off, at least. What was that about?
I thought your camera was on and I was going to put it in an empty chair.
Oh, is that what you did?
Yeah, but you turned it off.
Oh. You want me to put it back on?
No, it's already off.
Oh, okay. How are you? What's up?
We're good. I'm good.
We're good? You and all your personalities?
Mm-hmm. Me and my imaginary friends.
Well,
I hate this stand.
Which one?
I hate it. We have all this technology in our studio and everything, and I have like a shitty stand that falls every time.
What stand?
The stand that's holding the mic.
Oh, the mic stand.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's like 3 stands that you have next to your desk.
Well, this one sucks.
Oh.
Let's petition for a new stand.
We can petition our fans and million followers to buy our... You want to support the show? You want to show support?
I just thought of something.
What?
Nothing. Never mind. Go for it.
You want to do a GoFundMe for a new mic stand?
No.
Oh.
I'm good.
What'd you think of?
Nothing. My mic is falling. Like the stand just like...
Hold on.
Keep going. Keep going.
No, I'm going to go fix it.
Yeah. Because look at it's like up to my chest. And I adjusted it.
I know.
Yeah. No, it'll stay there and then it goes back down.
No?
No? And then you leave and then it does it. Okay.
Yes, I am wearing the same shirt, ladies and gentlemen, because...
That's what I was going to say. I just noticed. And then I was like, I'm not going to put you on the
Because
spot.
this logoed t-shirt fits so great. It looks cool. I feel cool. And I got it at a reasonable price on mindbuzz.org at the new shop that the Mindbuzz has.
Just kidding. We recorded after the other recording from yesterday.
She's not kidding, ladies and gentlemen.
Just kidding.
But we do have the shirts in stock. We are shipping them out this week to all our people that have ordered, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Just know that your purchase goes back into the Mindbuzz to help what we do best, and that's
eat chicken nuggets. Just kidding. We don't eat chicken nuggets.
the chicken nuggets from Wendy's.
I'm just kidding. I do eat chicken nuggets.
You've turned me on to those spicy chicken nuggets.
Every time I used to say Wendy's, you were like, ugh, Wendy's is gross. Wendy's is gross.
Because when I think Wendy's, I think of their burgers, their squared meat burgers, which is
but
weird
do you know
and
that
turned
Wendy's
off.
is like one of the freshest fast food places, other than like In-N-Out and all that, because they don't freeze any of their patties or their meat. Nothing is frozen.
Well, how do they keep them cold?
Well, in the fridge, but they don't freeze them. Like they're not frozen in a freezer for months. They're fresh.
Fresh as you can be. Like
Fresh as a fast food place can be, exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll give them that. They're
I
spicy.
don't know. I don't eat the burgers.
Oh, okay.
You know, I don't really eat burgers anywhere. I've never even had a Big Mac.
I know. And I'm sorry. But
I'm good.
the chicken nuggets there they're good. They're pretty spicy too. So
They're really spicy.
Yeah, they're up there in my chicken nugget list.
What's your number one?
Um, right now, probably the Wendy's spicy chicken nuggets.
Yeah, I would say that too. How do you put this thing down? What am I pushing? Oh shit!
What did you do?
Nothing.
What did you do? You messed it up again, huh?
I didn't mess anything up.
Okay, but what are you touching?
Just relax. Keep going. See,
Well, you're fiddling over there.
This is my life every day.
You're fiddling over there with something.
I'm trying to put the seat down. Relax. You don't have to control everything. I have to put the seat down because this freaking stand doesn't work and it's all the way down. So I have to put my seat down.
All right. Well, please, people, go to
shirts so we can buy a stand.
Please. Jeez.
Buy me a nice stand.
We need her a mic stand. We need the co-producer a mic stand, the co-host a mic stand. What else do we have? We just posted the flyer for the open mic night that's going to take place on August 24th at 8 p.m. at Horchateria in the city of Paramount. We already have 6 signups. That's wild for the first time. Not for the first time, but...
What was it for the first time of what?
Just in general. I mean, our first day of sharing the flyer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty cool. That's a good start for that. We haven't had one in a couple of weeks, so this one's going to be it's going to be awesome.
How do I see our own stuff?
You just go to profile. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so sign up. You can sign up for the Horchateria Rio Luna's open mic night, August 24th. Starts at 8 p.m. Hosted by the minds behind the Mindbuzz. Who put that? Churros, horchata, and coffee by Horchateria, of course. Churros.
No.
I've been having a problem.
Churros.
Churros. I just figured out how to say horchateria not too long ago.
Longer?
Not too long ago.
Not too long.
Not too long ago. So there's the open mic. Oh, I'm so
what is this episode for flyer. People that are like, they're like, where's your guest? Why hasn't your guest talked?
Oh, we're the guest.
It's something that we want to fill in for today.
We're gonna fill in for today, and then we're gonna see how this is gonna be absorbed, right?
Yeah.
So what's the main goal of this?
I don't know. You tell me. I just sat here and put on my headphones, started talking.
Well, I think the main goal is just to not do a recap, but I feel like during the podcast, we have such a great time with our guests, like all our super awesome guests. Interesting stories about culture, about their art, about what they have coming up, all those different things. And I feel that there's not enough time per se in the podcast episode to acknowledge the events that we have, the stories that we have, the current events that we don't get to talk about. I feel like this is a perfect opportunity that we can do something like that.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm down.
And if that's okay with you, please let us know how that comes across. Because it's definitely, I feel different doing something like this than opposed to
it's a little awkward. Even
an interview.
Though you and I talk to each other 24/7, it's a little different when you have mics right in front of your face.
Maybe it's the glasses.
Maybe. Yeah, can you take them off?
Yeah, all right.
I can't take you serious.
You'd never take me serious.
With or without them. See that beautiful face? We gotta see that. You're not Willy Wonka anymore.
Okay. What about there? There we go.
Better.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I know for sure we're gonna have better prepare. For the next time.
Your freaking notes. Your notes from like 10 years ago.
They look like drawings of beans. No, you know what? This drawing, this one right here, that was me explaining to Sebastian Stone about the first human beings.
Got it.
On planet Earth.
Who's Sebastian Stone?
Sebastian.
But his last name is Stone?
Yes.
What? Really?
Yes.
Oh, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you didn't know, now you know. But yeah, that was my notes for that. There's some stuff that I didn't touch on yesterday about Joshua Tree with Gilbert Louis Ray. And that was, you said an interesting thing earlier yesterday about bee sting benefits.
Oh, my sister texted me that.
Oh, she did? What did she say?
I asked her, I was like, well, what are the benefits? And she never texted me. She's like, I wouldn't know.
Well, let's look it up. Because now...
No, I did. Okay, so I looked it up. I'll look it up.
Okay.
Oh, this thing's really getting on my nerves.
What's wrong with that? Let me go fix it.
It's just, it keeps falling. So I can't like
Okay, look it up.
My head up. So yeah, so I looked it up and it's more like you have to continue to get stung by bees. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. No, look, see, there it goes slowly. Is that your stomach?
Yeah.
We just ate. I think so. Yeah. There you go. I hope so. Okay. So as I was saying, the benefits of getting stung by bees is like almost like you have to have it happen often. So it's like a bee treatment. Like people go and it's like a controlled space and then you get stung by bees.
Oh, okay. So it's like it's like over time you get stung by bees. Not
like you get stung once and then you have all these like fucking superpowers, you know?
Okay. So there's like spas and stuff set up for something like that?
I think so. My mom's calling.
Bee venom contains several active molecules such as peptides and enzymes that have advantageous potential in treating inflammation and central nervous system diseases such as Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, and amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
See, do bee stings build immunity? They remember the foreign substance you've been exposed to previously, then binding to the foreign venom proteins IgG. Antibodies signal the immune system to attack this one localized issue. Research shows that frequent bee stings stimulate the immune system to make these protective IgG antibodies. See?
That's odd.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do something like that?
Fuck no. That thing hurt.
Can we look up videos of bee stings?
Oh.
Like bee sting treatments, I mean.
Well, for those of you that don't know, I got stung in my finger. by a bee on Sunday.
Can you pull up the video? Do we have ability to do that? That thing was rad. It got fat, like really quick.
I don't have video, but I have a picture.
Oh, okay. Well, go to YouTube and see if we can find bee sting spas.
And then like a week prior, you got stung by a wasp.
Yeah.
So literally a week within each other.
We had like a wicked wasp nest above the studio door. I'm surprised that none of our guests got stung. Imagine that if we were bringing in guests and one of them got stung.
That would have sucked.
That would have sucked. Like on like some professional scale, what would we have done? I mean, I don't know. We don't have insurance like that.
No, but you don't. They're coming at their own risk. We got no insurance.
We should add that, like a little note to the.
Don't be telling anybody we don't have insurance.
The questionnaire.
We have insurance. We have Adriana's insurance.
No. We got it from Martin Rizzo. No,
Ever been stung by a bee? Well, look away if you're squeamish. A video surfaced of the science behind a bee sting. It shows how venom's released into the skin. It's blown up on social media, and it appears to have created a bit of a buzz. Ever been stung by a bee? Well, look away if you're squeamish. A video surfaced of the science behind a bee sting. It shows...
This is how venom's released into the skin during the bee sting. Isn't that weird how the venom is still pushing out while the bee's like stinger got removed from the person from the bee's body?
That's right. But have you ever wondered why these tiny insects are limited to just one sting? It turns out there's a fascinating reason behind this one sting wonder. You see, a bee stinger is not like an average needle. It's actually more like a harpoon. When a bee stings, it's not simply injecting venom, it's sacrificing its own life. That's because a bee stinger is barbed, which means it can lodge into the victim's skin, preventing the bee from pulling it back out. Talk about dedication. These barbs are hooked, causing the stinger to get stuck in the target's flesh. When the bee tries to fly away, the muscles in its abdomen and attached venom sac continue to pump venom. This only makes matters worse, as more venom is released into the victim's body. The bee stinger gets detached from its abdomen along with vital organs, effectively tearing the bee apart.
Yeah.
This self-sacrificing act serves a purpose though. It's nature's way of protecting the hive from potential threats. When a bee stings a predator, it leaves behind a venomous message, warning other predators to stay away. But not all bees are the same. Worker bees, which are all female, are the ones who sting, while male bees, called drones, are stingless. The queen bee also possesses a stinger, but she rarely uses it, as her purpose is to lay eggs and establish a thriving colony. So, the next time you see a bee buzzing around, remember, its one sting wonder is a remarkable sacrifice in the name of protecting the hive. Let's appreciate these incredible insects for their bravery, hard work, and their dedication to keeping our ecosystem balanced. Thanks for watching this video.
That thing was far away from a colony.
Yeah, that's interesting because you were nowhere near any hive or any other bees.
No.
It was probably doing it out of like self-defense.
So I had my cell phone, and my cell phone case was green, so it might have been like the color, kind of called its attention. And I didn't see it, but I felt like a tickle on my finger, and I shook my hand, and when I shook my hand, I kind of had it like trapped within like the inside of my hand cuffed, and that's when it went boom. And I just remember yelling, ah.
Yeah, I don't even know what was going on over there.
I still have the prick.
You're like, ow, fucker.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh.
It got me.
It got me.
I was like, what the heck is going on over there, lady?
Well, that's what happened.
And scaring all the kids?
There was no kids.
You're scaring the kids.
There was no children. There were adults.
They were trying to go into the beauty spa and you're scaring them.
Must have been your face.
Maybe. But so just do that a couple times a week and you won't get any ASL or ALS.
ESL.
Get
How
it?
many ESL classes?
It is proven that if you get stung by bees, it will help you out in the long run in your
It'll
ESL
help your
classes.
English.
It'll help your English. But
That's horrible.
that Joshua,
Jeez.
jeez.
Trying to say it like Yeshua, you were saying.
Okay,
That's what you get.
you didn't. I just have this fascination with saying Yeshua. It feels good off the tongue. But let's look that up because I need to get this right. Yeshua is the Hebrew way of saying Joshua, which in turn is actually Jesus' real name. Jesus' real name is not Jesus, it's Joshua. And when you there we go. Jesus' name in Hebrew was Yeshua, which translates to English as Joshua. So how did we get the name Jesus and is Christ? A last name. Watch the episode to find out. What was Jesus' real name? So Jesus' real name is Yeshua. Yeshua is Hebrew for Joshua, which is the English version of saying Yeshua. So I was saying Yeshua tree, and I've been saying Yeshua since this past weekend. Since yesterday.
All right, let's stop.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I didn't even know that the Joshua tree was an actual tree.
Yeah.
I thought they just named that city Joshua Tree because, I don't know, because of Joshua. Maybe was there a founder of Joshua Tree or something like that? But it was a nice time out there. I had a great time. We also got some books out there that were great. I'm reading a few of these. Gods from Outer Space. The Cross and the Switchblade. You actually got that one from the free bookstore, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Mystery of the Missing Necklace. Wait, you got this one
I got that one for Luna.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, so you got 3 of them?
No, I only got 2.
Oh. Wait, did I get one from the...
Yeah. You got the monk one or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Footprints on the Sands of Time. Actually, I am super fascinated with this one. This is a book that goes beyond Chariots of the Gods to reveal the truth about the super race from the stars. Who's it written by? L.M. Lewis. So it goes beyond it. It goes beyond the Chariots of the Gods, written by Eric von Daniken. So these book goes hand in hand. If you're interested in one of these, I will sell it at a good price to help you get your microphone stand against the stream.
That's the one you got. That was free.
Sick ass fool. And then I'm pretty excited about that one. About this one, the untold story of the ancient Maya. That one's gonna be cool. Yeah. It'll be cool to just look at the pictures because I don't know about reading all this. It's a picture book, so that's what I really want to start, like a book club. How would we even begin to do that? We gotta.
I always think about that.
Circle back, right? I think like we choose one book, see who else wants to read it with us, and we just have to look into something like that for all you bookworms out there that would want to. Let us know if you or somebody would benefit from a book club like that, and just I guess like an encouragement thing. I mean. Talk to us about how you did that book club with your family. What?
I'm so used to you having a guest and me just like listening and switching things.
No, now you have to work.
No, I know that I'm like waiting for your guest to answer and I forgot it was me. Oh man, slapping my knee back here. With my cousins. Well, I mean that one was a little more personal because it's my cousins and we were texting all day but pretty much we each took turns choosing a book. We all read the book and then we divided it into chapters. So every chapters, we got together. We FaceTimed because it was during COVID. We FaceTimed and we talked about the book, what we liked, where it went, and all that. I kind of wish it would have been a little more structured. Like, I know there's like book club questions and book questions and things like that to kind of continue the flow of conversation. But for the most part, it went pretty good. I enjoyed it. I think I read like 36 books that year.
Oh, okay. So it probably won't work in 2023 because people got stuff to do, homie. I ain't got enough time to read books with the Mindbuzz crew.
But you get people that read books avidly.
Here's
What is that?
These are ads.
Uh-huh.
As you know, the Mindbuzz is sponsored by Feedman Mezcal. Feedman Mezcal is owned and operated by Chicanos that honor our culture and heritage with love for mezcal. Feedman Mezcal is made by hardworking mezcaleros in the hills of Oaxaca, bringing you the finest artisanal mezcal straight to you. Whether it's your first sip or you enjoy mezcal with the homies on the regular, Feedman Mezcal has a range of mezcal to fit your taste. Drink now, smile later. Click the link in the show description and visit feedmanmezcal.com. Want to save some feria or some money for all you Europeans out there? Enter discount code MyGrito.
You're not European and you don't speak Spanish.
MyGrito, that's MYGRITO, when you are purchasing your bottle of Feedme Mezcal online. Feedme Mezcal, always down for a good time. I always thought that was funny, the European thing. I just been thinking about that so much lately. And, you know, I want to say this. Before I met you, I was kind of hesitant of saying white or white people.
Why?
But I've gotten used to it with you that I throw I throw it around all the time. And now that I do, it kind of backfired because Cipatli from Quetzalcoatl, we had him on the podcast. Was it last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he explained to me that explained to us that there's no white person. There's no, what did he say? His argument was a person's not white. There's no person that's white. There's no person that's black, like the color. But I think he's just thinking in terms of like color that we see for like painting or coloring books. Like I think he was taking it literal.
Yeah.
Of what like black, like of course there's no person that's really that color,
like that,
black or white.
Which I don't understand because you know, I think I was telling you when we were in the car, when it says like ethnicity, like there's Asian, there's Pacific Islander, there's all these things, and there's nothing for Mexican or Latinos.
Yeah.
And there's only white. Like it literally says white. And I'm just like,
and what is this for?
Like ethnicity.
Oh.
So white is an ethnicity.
What is ethnicity anyways?
Your ethnic background.
Can you Google that?
Yeah.
What is ethnicity?
But I don't understand how white, the word white is an ethnicity. Like,
what's the difference between ethnicity and race? Is that a difference? Is there a difference in there?
Yeah. See, like ethnicity versus race.
The differences between race and ethnicity. Ethnicity is a broader term than race. The term differentiates among groups of people according to cultural expression and identification. For example, people might identify their race as Aboriginal, African American, or Black. See, so a person's race can be Black, according to this, Asian, European American, or white, Native American, Native Hawaiian, or Pacific Islander.
Or some other race.
Maori, what is that? Maori?
Maori.
Or some other race. Ethnicity refers to shared cultural characteristics such as language, ancestry, practices, and beliefs. So ethnicity falls into like culture. Like
I had it backwards. So our race is white. There's no, and your ethnicity is Latino, Hispanic.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So your race is, so I'm super confused now.
Okay, let me see. So, Mexican.
There we go, right there. So is Mexican a race or ethnicity? Ethnicity definition: Hispanic or Latino, a person of Cuban, Mexican, Puerto Rican, South or Central American, or other Spanish culture or origin, regardless of race.
So Hispanic or Latino is ethnicity. The race is white. So you're the white race.
What?
Yeah.
So everybody's white then?
So everybody here is white. But there's African, like Black race, there's African, there's Asian race, there's other races, but Latinos and Mexicans fall into white.
Why?
I have no idea.
So, okay.
Remember I was saying in the podcast with Quetzalcoatl of the guy that came to do the census, and he was asking me questions, and when he went to ask my race, I was like, well, I don't know what my race is on the top of my head. Like I thought it was like some kind of Latin American or something. Right. So I asked him, I was like, can you read off your options? Like, I want to know my options. And then he read all the options, and there was nothing that inferred what I was looking for. And then that's when he's like, can I tell you something? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, it's white. And I'm like, what?
See if you can pull up a list of races.
See, well, race and Hispanic origin are two separate concepts in the federal statistical system. People who are Hispanic may be of any race. People in each race may be either Hispanic or not Hispanic. I don't know. Now I'm, what race do Mexicans?
There's an app. What race do I look like app? Genetic studies made in Mexican population have found European ancestry ranging from 56% going to 60 to 64% and up to 78%. In general, Mexicans have both European and American ancestry and Amerindian. What? Ancestries, and the proportion varies by region and individuals. African ancestry is also present, but in lower proportion.
So I guess because there's European and like the Amerindian type of thing, that we fall into the white race. That's kind of odd, right? It's odd to me. Okay, I guess it makes sense, but it doesn't also make sense. Because, yeah, like me, I probably have a lot of European blood. Mm-hmm. So, okay, I get it. But what about my other percentage that is, like, Mexican, right? And, I mean, Europeans weren't always here. So what do they fall in there?
Because that makes sense.
Someone that's really, really indigenous. Like, like, let's say, like, you, that you have a higher percentage of indigenous Mexican. Mm-hmm. Like, what's your race?
Chicano with an X.
No, that's not a race.
I know. But
do you see what I'm saying?
Okay, I get that. But now it's clicking to me because essentially is what I'm saying. We're playing we're just thinking out loud here, because a Mexican person is an indigenous person, right? And a European mixed and a Spaniard person, right? It's the offspring. So the Mexican is an offspring of American Indian and European Spaniard, right? Is that why?
I guess. But American Indian doesn't make sense. See, that's another question that I had while we were driving. Remember when I was telling you? Like,
So when I'm saying American, I'm saying the
yes, I know what you're talking about.
the western
Yeah.
continents of South America and North America, whether you're from Alaska, Canada, or at the top, Idaho. I'm talking about the whole western.
American Indian, because it's the Americas.
Yes.
That's right.
That's why. That's in terms of how I'm speaking.
Oh,
of
so
a
I
person.
guess, yeah. So American Indian, so an Indian indigenous from the Americas, which are, Aztecs and all Mayans and all that.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why we fall into the white race. That's kind of weird. So it says OMB requires 5 minimum categories. So there's white, black, or African American, American Indian, or Alaskan Native, Asian, and Native Hawaiian, or other Pacific Islanders. That's it.
Those are the 5 races.
Mm-hmm. And we fall into white. I just don't understand how a color is a race. That's kind of racist, right?
Oh, that's why it's called that. So you can't say that you're American Indian? Can I say I'm American Indian? Because I'm more indigenous to the Americas than I am European.
I mean, I think you can, because you're only European like 5%.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those things that like...
But it also doesn't make sense because this thing is created anyways. Like, what's OMB? Probably something like the census.
The census, yeah.
There's got to be something. There's a conspiracy out there about this.
No,
I bet.
I
bet.
Yeah, but what would be the fucking conspiracy? That there's 10 races out there? Like,
no, the conspiracy would be that they are able to create all these census reports and saying, oh, this percentage of the population is white, therefore the white gets majority. Of the vote or whatever. That it all has to do in numbers. So if you have a way to grow those numbers significantly and create some boundaries to where some people are in and some people are out.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I think I agree with that. That's something that we can agree on. Yeah, right. I never thought of it like that. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, because then you're like, oh, the white race is the dominant race in, the United States.
Think about when that gentleman went to your house to do the census. Imagine how many other people in your neighborhood, in your city, had to put down that they were white.
Like 98.8%.
So somebody
we're
looking
a big population.
So somebody looking at that report in Sacramento or somewhere else to make decisions for that sector in California, they're going to say, 90% of this population is white.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Makes sense?
It does.
That's what I'm saying. When you told me that was the first thing that my brain went to.
I didn't even think about that.
No?
I was more angry that they were saying I was white.
How do you feel now after hearing that?
It makes me even angrier.
But there are, look at it, says about the topic of race, U.S. Census Bureau. It says, what are the 10 races? Pull that and then we'll move on to something next.
All I want to say, there's a PSA. Something I want to say.
What's the PSA?
Just kidding.
Well, this is the time to say it.
I'm not gonna get into it.
We can get into it for a little bit because we have other stuff to cover.
No, I'm gonna leave it at that. Cause then it's gonna make me make my stomach hurt all over again.
Jesus Christ. This is the episode to where we can talk about how we feel.
My passion.
Yes.
See, why does it say 10 and there's only the same one?
See?
Stupid.
Definitions for new race and ethnicity categories. See, look at if you're able to just go on here and go to the census and create different labels for different populations, I'm pretty sure that there's more than 10.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably more genders than there are races in the U.S. Census.
I guess
that is crazy.
What we need to understand, or I'm not saying that what you're saying is wrong, because I believe in it too. But I guess I want to understand, and I'm not going to do it here. I'll do it on my own, and then we can come and talk about it again. But I want to understand how the races came to be. Like, how are they divided, I guess you would say, like, type of thing. But what I was gonna say is my when we had the conversation with the Quetzalcoatl band, I think it was a great conversation. I think it brought up a lot of feelings and conversations and things that we have been talking about for a while now. I think we've been on this topic for a good while. About just our identity. I think you and I, coming from, like I had said on that episode, like coming from such different but yet alike backgrounds, and the way that we were raised and the way that we knew our heritage and things like that. I think that's why it's opening so many questions and conversations for us. But I think what I can't stand, and I'll never be able to stand for, is just like racism in general, right? When somebody thinks that one race or one color is superior to the other, and mingling and mixing, races and things like that are bad, and like I can never stand for that. Like, I just can't. I can't. And that's something that makes my stomach like just churn, to think that someone, or a certain race thinks that they're superior from others. Like I think that's just like you have to have a little ass brain to think that that's okay. Like I don't know. And I know that I made examples on that episode about things in my personal life and people in my life that maybe have said things, but they're still not okay. It still wasn't okay, and it was nothing that I condoned. Like, yeah, I love my grandma, but I think that it was not okay, for things that she said, or maybe even like my great grandmother, talking about like my godfather, my Nino, he's black. Like, like at that time you think it's funny, and I don't think you think it's funny because it's like haha comical. I think you get this like laughter of almost nervousness, right? Of like, oh shoot, like she said that. And then you mask that with them being old and them not knowing, or them being raised in a different time and a different era. You know what I mean? And do you see what I'm trying to get at? Like, I'm just saying, like, I want to reiterate with that episode that I don't think that it's okay.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. And I think that because of that, it's not even a culture, because of that ideology, right?
Yeah.
That ideology it's super outdated.
Extremely.
Like, there's no purpose for that ideology anymore. I'm pretty sure that there was maybe a few hundred years ago, but right now I don't get it. If you can, if there's evidence of anything, of one skin color being of one skin color being more beautiful or more intelligent or more overall purposeful than one color, like, then present it, because I don't see that.
No.
I don't see how that could be, right? What if, how about this? Let me give you an example. What if it was the most beautiful person, right, on earth, and this nasty crackhead person that is completely disgusting, probably dumb, dumber than a dump truck, because dump trucks are dumb, and you had the choice between this beautiful dark person and this ugly, stinky, drug abused person.
Come on, get it out.
Like, what would you choose? Would you choose the lighter person because of their skin color, or actual beauty? And then also, like, beauty is such a subjective thing.
Yeah, I think I get your
That's
example.
the crux of it.
I get your example, but I also, like you said, like, it's so subjective. Like, to somebody, the crackhead person is beautiful. Like,
Subjective.
yeah, it's you can't tell people what to think and how to think,
Right.
because you want it to be like that. You know, it's like you think you see beauty within how you perceive it, you know.
Right.
Like, we had this conversation the other day, remember, with like Luna and Ash, where we were saying, like, not everybody sees the same. Like, you and I don't see a color exactly the same.
Right.
You and I don't see a flower exactly the same. We think we do, but we don't. And we have no real, I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of science that came to that conclusion, but we don't see everything exactly the same. And it's like, how are you going to say what's beautiful and what's not? That's one standard. That's one person making up this whole thing. And then it's like, you know, like let's say it was one person that was like, oh yeah, you know, milky skin, white skin, beautiful skin. And then someone was like, oh, well, that person thinks it's beautiful, it must be beautiful. And it keeps going and going and going and going and going until it reaches a point where it's like, oh yeah, it's beautiful. Like, that's the amazing race.
But another cool thing that we can learn today is that when somebody presents you with a mistaken belief, especially one based on an unsound argument, you can tell them, you know what? I hear what you're saying, but that's a fallacy. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to tell them that's a fallacy. Because a fallacy is a mistaken belief, especially one based on unsound argument. And you can tell that person, I hear what you're saying. I may not understand it, but that's fallacy.
Yeah.
I love that word. I have to think about that word all the time and say that's fallacy. Last night I was watching I've been on this weird flat earth debate lately with global earthers, and I was watching another debate on YouTube, and that F word was being thrown around, and I'm just like, oh, this is going to be good.
The F word?
The F word, the fallacy word.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, what's the F word?
So they were both throwing around that word of a fallacy, but
I guess
it is, in turns, it is a mistaken belief based on unsound an argument.
See, but this is where also I have to step back and think, like, if I tell someone that they're wrong, then it's also contradicting what I'm saying now.
You can ask them,
Because
why do you think that?
Because they can genuinely see a certain race or a certain color beautiful, and that's what they deem beautiful to themselves. And because I don't agree with that, doesn't mean that it's wrong. either in that sense, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
When it becomes wrong is when you start discriminating or you start hating or you start making assumptions
Right.
of someone off of solely their looks.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but you can also ask them, why do you think that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And if their argument is there's obviously with something that's super subjective like this, any argument is not going to make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, because it can keep going and going.
Yes.
You can say, all your what you believe and all that, and I can't tell you it's wrong because that's what you believe in.
Right.
But I don't know. I guess my problem is not people thinking that certain races are more beautiful than others. I think my biggest problem is when like there's discrimination that comes with it, right? When there's like people being pushed aside or people, having these assumptions or being like, oh, I knew they were like that, or oh, they're all like that, or oh, having these stereotypes for certain people that look certain ways. Like, I think it's horrible. I think, you know why I feel so strong about this? Because I feel like for myself growing up, just like physically and everything, like I would have hated, or I did hate, people not giving me a chance or an opportunity or whatever you want to call it, just solely based on looks or solely based on their assumptions of me or solely based on thinking of what my capabilities were and things like that. And I think that that's like one of the worst things that you can do is just stereotyping someone. And these are things that you imagine in your own fucking brain. Like, you're making these assumptions of someone that you've possibly never even fucking met. And you've made this whole narrative for someone. And that's what you stick to. Like, that's how powerful your fucking mind is if you let it. It's just like it creates a whole narrative for a person that you don't even know. No?
Yeah.
I'm like, are you following? I don't know. I think it's just something that I feel really strong about. And you know that. You know that I even jokingly or even things like that, like it pushes my buttons. It really does, because I feel like it touches close to home. It really does.
On many ways too.
Yeah.
Not just with race. I mean, even stuff that can be controlled to a person.
Yeah.
And I think one more point and then we'll move on, but having something negative to say to somebody about something that they have no control over, like a person's skin or the way that they're born, is I'm stuck in the middle of that because no, I'm not.
I'm like, why?
I was gonna jump on the other side and fight that argument, but no, I think it just in general, if you have something negative to say about somebody when they have no control over that certain thing, then that's not good.
I think
at
just
all.
having something negative to say about anyone you don't know is just in general.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know people. We don't know. We base everything off of what they look like, and that's it. That's all we know. Is what they look like. You know, and I've said this time and time again. It's fear. It's fear. People's fear is what stops them. You know, we fear the unknown. You see someone that doesn't look like you, and you automatically fear that. Why? Because now you have to take the time to understand. You have to take the time to learn. You have to, adapt yourself. It's so many things that come with meeting someone, and especially someone that maybe, quote, out of your comfort zone. Like, it's fear. It's fear. And anything that discrimination is fear. I would say that.
Disguised as what?
Discrimination it's fear in disguise.
Yeah.
You fear something, and the easiest thing for you to do is to be on fight mode instead of taking the time to. It's easier to say no to something or to, like, be like, fuck off, than to get to know it deeply and
Right.
understand it.
But to certain people, that it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time for that. And I think before that even is a process, there are certain filters that somebody has to think about before making a rash decision
Yeah.
on how they perceive somebody. And that's the weird thing. It's all perception, because your perception is based upon your experiences, your life experiences, your traumas, your whatever the hell. Maybe I'll say experiences, not traumas, because I think the T word has been used a lot lately. And it's so weird. I don't know. Maybe it's just my feed, or because this conversation has come up time and time again, and Google hears that word and messes with my algorithm about trauma. But I've been seeing a lot of things about trauma and people talking. I think it's just it's become a conversation over the past couple of weeks.
It not even weeks. It's been for a while now.
Has it?
Yeah, it's something that before you didn't talk about. Now it's open, and now it's like, how do we repair?
It's trending.
It's no.
I don't want to talk about it anymore because it's trending.
I don't. Okay, Mr. Individual.
It's trending right now.
It's trending. You're too cool to talk about trauma.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? No, I think it's great that people are able to talk about trauma. I think it's great that we're knowing the real side of humanity.
We're all screwed.
Yeah.
We're all screwed up.
Like for a perfect instance with that, like
we're all messed up. Like
motherhood, right? Motherhood has for years been instilled on women, right? That's what, if you believe what you believe in, being created and everything, like women were created to bear children, to be mothers.
I thought you were going to say bear arms.
Bear arms, no. To bear children, to be mothers, like that's our sole purpose. And I get it. Like, yeah, we're the only ones that can freaking create life, like actually bear life. But I think that, like, it's always been glamorized, right? Like, oh, how beautiful. Oh, I can't wait to be pregnant. Oh, your pregnancy pictures. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. And, oh, it's so beautiful to be pregnant. And, oh, what a blessing to give birth. And,
right. But you know where
that
comes from? You know where that ideology comes from?
From where?
It stems from one old book.
Yeah. No, yeah, I get it.
A lot of and this is a weird one that I thought about the other day. A lot of,
why are you whispering?
Because it's scary.
Like he's in the. Don't scare me.
No, it's scary.
No, don't whisper.
Yeah, I'm whispering. So, I'll tell you this.
Don't whisper. It scares me.
No, a lot of the.
Stop.
A lot of the rules and regulations that we abide by, or we have to abide by, all stem from the Bible. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Like a lot of things in the government, rules.
Even our Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance. There's a lot of things that stem from that old book.
Yeah. See, and that's where I don't feel that it's fair. I'm going to say it now. I'm going to drop the mic now.
That it is. 100%. It just, there's a lot of things that that stems from.
Yeah.
100%.
But wait,
that all has to do with the European thing.
Yeah.
Because our ancestors here on the western side of the world, they didn't think of terms of Christianity or Catholicism. That was brought here.
Yeah.
That was brought here from Spain and Europe, since we're on the subject.
Yeah. But wait, you veered off of what I was gonna get to.
All right.
What I was gonna say is even within our ancestors, women have always been the bearers. There's biologically that's what is in our body. But what I was trying to get to was like I like that we get to talk about trauma and anxiety and depression and all these things that people are saying like, oh, it's trending. Oh, everybody's depressed. Oh, everybody's anxious. Like, no, everybody has always been fucking depressed and anxious. It was just no one was talking about it. No one wanted to be the person that was crazy. No one wanted to be the person on meds. No one wanted to be the person that went to psychologists. Like it was all hush hush. So what I'm getting at with motherhood is like, it's been glamorized for so many years of how beautiful it is to be a mother, how rewarding, how this, how that. But they don't fucking talk about postpartum. They don't talk about depression. They don't talk about sleepless nights. They don't talk about psychologically what it does to your brain to have a child, to be a mother, what it does to your body physically. Your body never, ever will go back to what it was before pregnancy.
No?
Ever. Never. Yes, there's people that
What about unbirthed?
What do you mean?
Like unbirthed pregnancies. What if somebody had a pregnancy and it was no longer a pregnancy?
Yeah, I mean,
whether by choice or involuntary.
I mean, what am I trying to say? Biologically, it happened. Your body doesn't know any different. Your body is pregnant, whether it's there, you birth it or not. Your body still went through the changes that had to happen. So what I'm saying is like motherhood was always glamorized, and moms never said what was happening to them. It was just all like, 1950s cookie cutter. You were the mom. You made food. You got your kids ready. You took care of the house. You did this. You did that. And everyone's like, oh, I want a woman that, cooks, cleans, and takes care of kids and this and that. All these long lists of things. And then we never really realized that there's more to being a mother. Psychologically, mentally, physically, things that are taxing to your body and to your mental health. Like, you're never the same person after that. Ever.
That's interesting.
It is. And I tell you this because, one, I know, from reading articles, and two, I know firsthand, like now that I'm older and that my, like sibling and cousins and family members that are my age that are having children, and I hear, I'm in group chats, and I hear not the very nice side of being a parent, and it's almost scary. But and that's what I'm saying is that I like that now we're comfortable with saying things. We're comfortable with actually opening up. And I think that that's the only way that people are actually going to heal is by talking about it. And I think that that's why traumas that get passed down from generation to generation, or from mother to child, or from father to child, these are traumas, and these are things that, one, were never talked about, two, never worked through, and three, maybe never understood. So if we don't talk about things, if we don't get help, if we don't, whatever your outlet is of getting that, releasing it, or even just educating yourself on it, the only thing that's going to happen is that you're going to continue to carry it and pass it down, because trauma is passed down. Trauma can be passed down.
I think the only way to not pass it down is to address it, right?
Yeah. Heal from it.
See that you have it. Learn what to do, navigate that, talk to somebody, and work every day to change that.
Yeah.
Whatever that may be.
So that's why when people say,
but when they say it's my trauma, what are some examples of that? Like, what can be examples for generational trauma? Can you look that up?
Yeah.
Like, what's the definition? No.
I mean, okay, look. So here's one from a book that I read, right? I'll look it up, but I'll tell you one of them was within African Americans, right? So a lot of people are like, oh well, get over it. Get over it. It didn't happen to you. Slavery didn't happen to you, right? And I think that that's such like it's such a really strong statement to say, right? And yes, maybe it didn't happen to like our generation, but there's trauma, right? So generational trauma is like, let's say that it happened to their grandfather or their great grandmother, right? So then the situation happens, let's say like a certain situation happens, and then it's like it's talked amongst within the family. Let's say there's some anger issues. They learn to hate a certain certain person or a certain establishment, things like that. So then that's taught to the next generation over. So the trauma of the person that actually lived it is passed on to the next person, whether it be by like showing, so something of action. Do you follow where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I see.
So it's like let's say like someone had a really bad interaction with a police officer, right? So now they're at home and they're like, F the police, F this, I don't trust the police, da, 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 da. And then you're a small kid and you're hearing this. So this is instilled in you, right? And nothing directly happened to you, but something happened to someone within your family. So then that trauma from that family member is passed down to you. So therefore, it's generational trauma. So now you have this trauma of nothing really happening to you, like nothing really physically happened to you, but you have this fear or this anger, this trauma that you carry from someone else. So therefore, now you're an adult and you hate the police, you hate the cops, you hate an establishment where nothing really happened to you, but you grew up knowing that this was bad. So that's generational trauma. So it's trauma that's passed down. So it could be the same thing. I mean, I feel like every family has some sort of generational trauma, whether it be with an establishment or a person or an experience or something.
Or a group
right?
of people.
A group of people.
Financial trauma.
Yeah. Like I'll go ahead and put it out there. Like I guess some generational trauma for me that was passed down was, like assault, right? Assault within my family, and that was instilled in me and kind of like really drilled of be careful. No, you can't go here. No, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. What happens if this happens? Like being like drilled that this situation was going to happen and I needed to be ready. And something in case that it happened, I was ready. I knew how to, get out of it, or I knew the signs. I knew this, I knew that. And it's okay to educate, but I think the way that it was like, it was literally part of our everyday life of being instilled. And this was someone else's trauma that was put on me. So growing up, as I grew up, I was always scared.
So that's how it's passed down. It's passed down from
generations. Yeah.
I know it's, but I'm just saying, like, how is the trauma?
Oh, like passed over. Yeah, like that.
So it's through experience. It's through conversation. Mm-hmm. It's through fear, or instilling fear into the next generation.
Yeah.
Through experience, right? Because I'm pretty sure that, say, even with like police, right? And having, what about this? Is this an example? So, say when you're a young child and you see your family members getting arrested, right?
Yeah.
That experience can be a trauma, right?
Yeah,
like you can see that, and there's two things that you can see: either the cops being the good guys or the cops being the bad guys.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And it'll stem from maybe someone in your family being like, oh, the cops shouldn't have done that, whatever, and then it being talked about several times, or even just like, yeah, it's from, it didn't directly happen to you, is what kind of.
But you still experienced
But you
it.
still experience. Well, you don't even have to be there to still have that trauma. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like for mine was.
Oh, so everybody and their mama has this then.
I mean, yeah.
Essentially,
Essentially, yeah. So the way that you would per se stop that generational trauma. So like, let's say like in my instance, right, with assault, like if this person would have gone and worked through therapy and worked through whatever, the incident was, and came to terms with it, or was able to not think about it anymore and not fear it anymore. And then therefore, when I came along, they had to come to terms with it, right? And they're probably going to teach me once or twice, how to identify it, how to anything, but that's it.
right.
Right? So therefore, right there, they already cut that trauma. And it's not going to be passed down to me. I'm not going to fear that anymore. I'm not going to live my life, with that trauma. So yeah, that's generational trauma.
Mic drop.
See?
What were you going to look up?
Oh, the meaning.
Yeah, I just want to get a quick definition on that.
See, I should have finished school.
Why? Well, you have Google here. Generational trauma is trauma that extends from one generation to the next. It begins when a group experiences a traumatic event that causes economic, cultural, and familial distress. In response, people belonging to that group develop physical or psychological symptoms.
See?
Whoa.
See, look, here's a diagram. So grandmother, mother, daughter.
Transgenerational trauma. Oh,
This
okay.
is transgenerational. So this means like, so something that would happen to my grandmother that would be passed to my mother, and then my mother would pass to me, would be transgenerational. Generational, I think, is just within, like, if it's like your mother or father.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Repeating a cycle of generational trauma or carrying the burden of breaking it. Oh, you still. So everybody has a burden to break it.
Yeah, and that's why this
That's awful.
this
Think about that.
yeah.
You weren't asked to be born, and then you are. And then you have all these things that are wrong with you right out the gate.
that aren't even your
That are
own.
not even your issues, and you have to fix them. Because if you don't, they're gonna they may stick with you for the rest of your life, and if you don't fix them, they're gonna pass down to your children, and then children's children, and then children's 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 children. That is sucky.
Yep.
It sucks to be a human. I never asked to be here.
Yeah. See, but now
I gotta fix everybody else's goddamn problems.
yeah, but now that's the beauty of this generation, is that they are breaking cycles. And I'm not saying like my parents' generation didn't, because there were traumas that my parents endured from their parents that they didn't pass down to us. And I think, yeah, every generation has the opportunity to break that cycle, to learn from it, to heal from it, to understand it. And I think a lot of times we live life being angry at situations that we were not asked to be put into, but we don't take the time to understand why those situations happened. And I think when you step back and you really reflect on maybe how they felt, or maybe how the situation was, or what's deeper to that rooted that situation to happen, I think that's like step one in breaking the cycle. Follow me for more. Just kidding.
We'll put your TikTok down at the
No, I don't talk about anything
thumbnail.
mentally. Just buy my book. Just kidding.
And with that, I think we're gonna go ahead and close out. Thanks for listening. We spent all that time on
Generational trauma
when we didn't have to.
Hey, we're healing.
Yeah,
This is our generational trauma.
That's it. I never asked to be here, or I never asked to be on the podcast, and I have to fix the traumas of my grandparents.
Nobody forced you to be on the podcast.
You told me we have to do an episode today.
No, I did not.
Oh.
Is that your generational trauma? Lying?
Yeah.
Bye.
It is. Play the back out music. Back out.
Back out? Are you a truck or something? You a dump truck?
Don't forget to go to mindbuzz.org shop. We got 2 cool tees. We got the Mindbuzz tee and the Scalino Sanchez t-shirt.
Why
go check it out.
You're reading it from the paper?
Because I am. I wrote
you really
stuff
did
down.
Write it?
August 24th, we have the Mindbuzz open mic night happening at 8 p.m. August 24th at Horchateria. Sign up, mindbuzz.org. Check out, not only we do the Mindbuzz podcast, but check out our YouTube channel, which houses all our full episodes of the
I caught that.
The full podcast episodes of the Mindbuzz with great guests, but also we do other podcasts as well. Go check out the West Coast Pop Lock podcast featuring Gill and Amber from the Mindbuzz. Check out Ranting with Ramos podcast, which a great conversation with us on that podcast with Jose Ramos, host of the Ranting with Ramos podcast. Also, we like to thank our sponsors, Feedme Mezcal, House of Chingasos, and Mindbuzz Media. Thank you so much. And thanks for listening to whatever this was, but I had fun. Did you have fun?
I did.
Yeah, it was great. I think we should do this. Let us know if we should keep doing this, because that was great. I had fun. No?
I'm just kidding. That was
Come
fun.
on.
I'm just kidding.
Have a good weekend.
I'm yanking your chain.
Huh?
I'm yanking your chain.
I don't even have a chain.
The invisible one.
You're yanking my shirt that I've been wearing for 4 days. I love it. It fits great. And it's comfortable. I can't wait for you guys to all get one.
If you guys need any printing done, hit us up. We have a printing plug.
Printing plug, and then also a website plug. Hit us up.
Let us know. We'll do it all.
Peace out.
The Mindbuzz.
That's a fallacy.
Peace and love. I've always wanted to say that.